Carnival 2017, the level of anticipation and excitement as we get set to catapult into another season is absolutely huge. There is so much to look forward to in season 2018. I'd like to say thank you. It is fantastic to have all 26 of our championship drivers here with us this morning in the midst of what is a very busy time of preparation for them and their teams. While Newcastle probably only feels like yesterday for many of us, for our drivers, it's no doubt been a very long Christmas break. Obviously, plenty of time to celebrate the successes of last year, but equally as much time to sweat on the missed opportunities and to plot and plan for the new season ahead. Thankfully, the Adelaide 500 is only 14 sleeps away. Now, the dramatic way in which the championship was decided last year throws up so many fascinating storylines in 2018. Add to that racing under lights at Sydney Motorsport Park, twilight racing in what is finally a championship round at the Australian Grand Prix, and a whole new event at the recently constructed Taylor Benz circuit. We have the perfect ingredients for an epic season that will absolutely get your hearts racing. Now, this year we also celebrate 10 years of the Townsville 400. We are so warmly welcomed each and every year to Far North Queensland. So to celebrate a decade in the Sunshine State, we can announce this morning that our great Aussie icon, John Farnham, will be the headline act. He'll be performing live trackside. That will no doubt create plenty of excitement and interest for our fans. And that is, of course, what the show is all about. Again, this year the championship will be well supported on track with a fierce lineup in the Dunlop Super 2 series. And we're also looking forward to the inaugural ECB Super Ute season kicking off at the Adelaide 500 as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please give our championship drivers a warm round of applause as we wish them well for the year ahead. Now, this is a huge year for supercars on Fox Sports. After an incredible 3 seasons together, we have delivered unprecedented coverage, which has helped drive incredible growth for supercars. We are also very eager to go racing again. And to speak more about that, I'd like to welcome CEO of Foxtel, Patrick Delaney, to say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. Look, I'm actually here representing a number of people. I'm a utility player. There is no CEO of the supercars, so I'm standing in for supercars. We get a new CEO in March. The CEO of Channel 10 is overseas, so I'm standing in for Paul. There is no CEO of Fox Sports at the moment, because now I'm CEO of Foxtel. So if there's any cars that are looking for a driver, I'll step in for that too. But listen, I'm so excited about this season. Supercars on Fox Sports has been a tremendous hit, and I know that Paul feels the same way about Supercars on 10. The combination of Fox Sports and 10 is vitally important to this sport. At Fox Sports, we're able to do the end-to-end, you know, from the beginning on Thursday right through to the end with no ads. The 10 network is able to do the big races, and the combination of those two things mean that we can grow the cash to the sport as well as the reach. I'd like to mention the outgoing CEO of Supercars. You know, I think James Warburton did a fantastic job. He was the one that had the faith 3 years ago to do the big deal with Fox, and he'll be missed. But I have met the new CEO, the incoming CEO, Sean, and I think he's going to be fantastic in many ways, very much like James, straight down the line, loves supercars, great entrepreneur. So we're looking forward to him starting. Last year was a fabulous year. Everything that supercars can offer to Australia, the theatre, the controversy, the close racing. And we're looking forward to this year being the same. On Fox Sports, last year our ratings increased 18%. But if you go back 2 years, back to 15, 48% lift. So extraordinary lifts in terms of the attraction and engagement of our subscribers. So we love it to death. This year's coverage is going to be different, better, special. We've got all of the enhanced events from last year. We have no ad breaks in every race. So even Bathurst will have no ad breaks. We will continue with practice right through to the end. And I'd like to mention this. We have a new executive producer at Supercars that travels in a progression of some of the greatest executive producers in sport in the world. And that's Nathan Prendergast. And why I say the progression, his progression through life has been as a director. A director of sport is someone that can take the live action and put us into the place that the players are in and describe it all through. And why I say it's in that same trajectory is the great David Hill started out in direction and then invented cricket with Kerry Packer, then went on to create Fox Sports, and the epitome of his career was all of the innovations that he did at Fox Sports US. So I think you're going to see some interesting things from Nathan this year. The point of view, the angles that he'll take us in to put us in those cars, to make us feel like we saw with those fantastic reels, that spine-tingling stuff. The races this year, Bathurst is always the epitome. It's like, weirdly, it's our grand final, but it's not the last race. But it is amazing the way it has become more sophisticated, but still earthy. And this year, no ads in live from Fox. In the Australian Grand Prix, finally, that race at the Supercars doing the Australian Grand Prix is an official round. And I'm sure that's driving a lot more interest for the Australian Grand Prix in ticket sales. In Sydney, we get this great entrepreneurial moment where day meets night. And the pictures that we saw from the trials last year of the colour and the astounding, overwhelming sound. I think the Sydney race is going to be fantastic. And you've got to say, you know, when you introduce a race like Newcastle, which was just amazing, its second year will take that to new heights as people talk about it and go forward. Our team goes on from strength to strength. There are more players, but at the core of it, the voice of Supercars with Neil Crompton. That thing that when you shut your eyes and hear the timbre of his voice and his storytelling is just amazing. And then the completely uncompromising unpredictability of Scaife, who just says it the way he is, and a fantastic team around them. In terms of shows, this year we have a new lineup. Access to the drivers and the teams in Supercars has never been a problem so long as you can be in the same place. So doing the show from the studios in Sydney has always been a challenge. So we have completely wiped the slate. We will be doing the show. We'll take the show to Supercars. So the show will be on Thursday nights with all of our talent, but we will be at the track. So we'll be able to go in and out of pit lane. We'll be able to have access to all of the drivers, all of the teams. And I think this will really change the way in which we're able to bring fans into the background of Supercars. It's called Trackside Thursday nights. We will also do a big 1 hour show at the beginning of each event. So on the Thursday, and we'll do what fans have been asking for a long time. And that's a big show on Sunday night after the race to really wrap up what happened on the weekend. So big plans. The home of motor racing is with Fox Sports. Our partner in that is with Network 10. So we have every race of the Supercars, every race without any ad breaks. 10 will do all of the big races. We will be hand in glove pushing that forward. For the first time ever, we have exclusivity of Formula One, except for the Australian Grand Prix, again, where we will partner with 10. And then, of course, the triple part of that is MotoGP, which, again, we partner with 10. So a really tight unit between Fox Sports and 10 to grow these sports and to be their home. And I just want to mention, I'm a bit of a salesman, you might have noticed. At the moment, we've got the best offer ever. $39 for sport. Offer goes the whole year. You get an IQ HD, a fantastic offer, and we're seeing huge demand. So don't miss out. You can watch every race of the Supercars and all of the other motor racing you love. $39, the lowest price ever. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Patrick. One of these days we will get him in a supercar for a hot lap, I promise. Now, moving along, possibly, I think, the most exciting prospect of the season ahead is the high-intensity contest on track. If last year is the benchmark, 2018 promises to be something very special. Incredibly, Jamie Whincup comes into the season a 7-time Supercars champion. We were utterly enthralled as he and Scott McLaughlin pushed each other every inch of the way to the finish line.
This is the grand finale from Newcastle.
So we grounded out for 3 months to get a measly 30-point lead heading into the last day. Saturday, race 1. Boom, in the wall, year over.
This is a big story.
We sat down Saturday night and said there's no way, after all that work, that it's going to come down to that. It was very unrealistic on the last day that we were going to get the championship. The least we could do, get some pride back and have a good last day. 80 points down, P5, main opposition was on pole.
Anything is possible this afternoon.
We needed a good start, we needed to get flying well, put our head down and got to the front of the pack, which is exactly what we needed to do.
Here we go. Let the strategy games begin. There's action everywhere you look at the moment.
Last lap, we were leading. I had no idea what was going on behind me.
It's all or nothing for the Buckland.
I just put my head down and just focused on crossing that line first, and what transpired after that was something I'll never forget.
This is crazy stuff. Is out of business. He's off the road.
Crossed the line, nothing over the radio. And then all I got was just screaming like you wouldn't believe.
Penalty for Scott McLaughlin. Jamie Whincup is champion.
Yeah, Joe, we are the champions, mate. You are champion. Yeah.
Unbelievable emotion that last lap, knowing that we actually got there after the heartache of Saturday. And then I come around, did a few burnouts as you normally do on the main straight.
What an end to that race.
And then I jumped out, looked through the wall and saw my engineer Couchy and my teammate Paul Dumbrell. I ran up to him and we had a bit of a man moment where we're all just jumping around crazy in the middle of the track.
That is extraordinary.
For some reason the boat caught my eye and I'd never done a backflip before, so I thought I'd jump on the top deck, have a cold ale and launch myself off, and the water was cold, it was quite sweet. 7 times Supercar champions, what an amazing team.
Jamie Whincup has won his 7th title.
Yeah, got my heart racing. Thought I might have done.
It had our hearts racing all right. It was a hell of a fight. I'll hand it over now to Matt White from Network 10 to catch up with Jamie and Scott.
Thank you very much, Jess. It was a race for the ages, and these two men were at the centre of extraordinary drama. Would you please welcome our series champion, Jamie Whincup, and runner-up for 2017, Scotty McLaughlin. Hello, boys. We just saw incredible vision. We know what happened now on Sunday, Jamie, but take us through what happened for you on Saturday, and especially Saturday night, because you thought it was game over, it was all done. How did you pick yourself back up?
Yeah, thanks, Matty. You've done a great job at the video. That was pretty much a good summary of what transpired that last week. We've got to remember, though, we're starting tomorrow. We start in February, first race early March, and we grind it out from March all the way to the last week of November. So that's just the end of what was an amazing 12 months of battling. And Supercars do a fantastic job, like they always do, in making the media side and put some amazing pictures on television. But at the end of the day, there's 25 plus normal people strapped to these 300 kilometre-hour missiles, and it's the battle that goes on track, and the battle between the teams is what the sport's all about. We enjoy it immensely during the year, and look forward to doing it again this year.
Scotty, Sunday, Newcastle for you. Just put us into the picture, into the mindset that you had over those last 5 laps.
Hello, everyone. It was a bit of, I guess you could say a little bit of desperation. I knew there was 2 cars I had to get past to try and win the championship. And we got past them, and unfortunately I made one mistake. And you know, that's what happens. I defended with all my life, and unfortunately came up short. But all credit to Jamie and his crew. I mean, they did an outstanding job all year. But to come down to the wire and be a part of that, you know, that amazing finish is quite special. Even though, yeah, people go, oh, you know, is it hard to swallow, all that sort of stuff. It's very cool and a proud moment for me to be even in that position, and hopefully I can learn from that and bring it into this year.
So 7 titles, J-Dub, more than 100 races. The numbers are just stacking up and racking up. You'll reflect on that when your career's done. So let's talk about your season last year and how you got through that season, because I got the feeling that was the one season that you had to wring everything out of yourself and your team. Was it your toughest season to win?
I'd have to say yes. I've had some great battles in the past with some quality opposition. But last year, to our standards, was pretty lean. Scotty stole all the pole positions from everyone. And I was on 3 wins going into the last round, which was well under what I normally would. So it was about consistency. It was about grabbing every point we could. And as I say, that's what sport's all about. It's about the battles. Not only, yeah, we get paraded pretty well here today as the drivers, but we're one of a big group of people that all grounded out and all made massive dedication to try to get the trophy sitting beside me.
Tell me about the backflip. What were you thinking? How was the harbour? How did Roland Dane react to you flipping off a 3-story boat?
Somehow I landed on my feet. It would have been a bit different if I knocked myself out and had to get dragged out of the water, but no, you do silly things in those moments, don't you?
I would have never done that. I would have been a belly flop, probably.
It was a half a beer that helped, a bit of liquid courage.
On the other side for you, Scotty, tell me what's harder. What's more nerve-wracking? The fastest ever pole lap around Bathurst, or proposing to your girlfriend in the off-season? You got engaged to Carly, folks. Put your hands together for the newly engaged Kiwi here. Run us through what you do, how'd you do it?
Hands down, I'll take the Bathurst lap any day. I'm in my normal surroundings there. In the middle of Bryant Park in New York, yeah, I was a very quiet man and very nervous, sweaty palms, holding onto a very expensive ring too tight. But it was an awesome day and something I'll never forget. And it was actually a very nice thing for me to go away. I knew it was all happening in Newcastle, to go away and have something else to think about. And sometimes there's more to life than racing. But obviously, starting this year, I'm really pumped to get back into it. But that was certainly a good end to the year for me.
Jamie mentioned it, 16 pole positions for Scott in 2017 and 8 victories as well, plus the team's championship. So you did tick some of the boxes along the way, but there were obviously a few left open. Give us an insight into that Bathurst weekend that was just extraordinary for you on Saturday and heartbreaking for you on Sunday. How did you cope with all that?
Yeah, look, we had a lot of ups and downs throughout the whole year as a team, but yeah, for us to get as a squad at Shell V-Power Racing to get the team's championship was fantastic. But yeah, Bathurst, like you said, Saturday was amazing, something I'll never forget. And as a Greg Murphy fan growing up, when he did the 2-minute 6.8 in 2003, you know, I always wanted to do something like that, something that special, or try and get as close as I could to it. And we did the 2-minute 3.8 was very special. And then Sunday obviously started raining. And when it started raining on the grid, I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be crazy. But, you know, anytime you get a little bit of moisture, you guys are on wet tyres around Bathurst is interesting. We lost the motor. You know, we dropped the cylinder very early in the race, and then yeah, finally it dropped its guts about lap 48, and then we had to soldier on, and then I don't know what the racing gods were with us, because it kept our championship fight going, and Jamie unfortunately had his problem, and then it made it all close again. So it was a very full-on day, but for the team, Fabs got third, and that was fantastic for everyone there.
So that was the flip side too for you. You had your dramas at Bathurst, but you got back out there, and in many ways that could have been the defining points that you got back that helped you to the championship. But on the Red Bull Holden Racing team side of things, the boxes that you guys didn't tick were Bathurst and the team's championship, aside from the fact that you got that drivers. So I guess you've both got scores to settle this season.
Yeah, Absolutely. My engine dropped its guts as well, which is blow up, if anyone doesn't know.
Technical terms.
Yeah, it stops making noise at the front of the car. We got some points that day. As I said, we were grabbing every point we could get. These guys did a fantastic job. Teams, first time in a long time, I can't remember, we won't lead the pack out. So these guys did a great job and got that. I keep running out of fuel and passing safety cars at Bathurst each year. So hopefully I can stand on the top step again. It's been a while.
So we start in a few weeks' time at Adelaide, which is probably one of the hardest races of the season. Also happens to be the first race of the season. I remember how stripped down you guys were last year, how fit and ready you were, ready to go for 2017. How do you prepare for the fact that you are going to be mentally and physically smashed in a few weekends?
It's tough, obviously it's so hard for our sport, compared to, say, football or something. We can't go out and just kick a ball or drive our car any day of the week. So for us, we had limited testing. So the match fitness for us is quite hard to get. And once you get through the Adelaide 500, that's when you feel brand new, but you've got to get past the painful phase. So it's very hard. I can speak, I'm sure, on behalf of a lot of the guys and girls behind us. And it's a tough race, and I think it's going to be a great start to the season for sure.
Good memories for you at Adelaide, but you've yet to win there, second twice. You've won the thing 10 times. So do you have people knocking on your door saying, how do you beat this?
He needs to share. He needs to share.
How do you beat this, this beast that comes and smacks us around to start the season?
It's a great place. It's one of the biggest events we go to, without doubt. Adelaide always throws on a 40-degree day on the Saturday. As Scotty said, it's like having 2 months off, never training, and then trying to do a 15k run on day one. You wake up pretty sore, and then that's all good. You got to do it all again the next day. So fantastic event. We're just saying at the back here that the promoter of Adelaide just pushing it so hard. They do a fantastic job. Perfect way to start the year. But the event's all about the history. Formula One cars were there many, many years ago. They started the history, and we've been able to continue it on. So everyone wants to hit the ground running. As I say, the competition's going to be another step up this year to what it was last year. And hopefully that makes for good TV.
Just finally, I had a chat with Jamie yesterday, and there is mutual respect, obviously, between all the drivers, and especially you guys, after what went on last year. And Jamie said to me, Scott's going to be a champion. He could go on and win 10, to which I responded to the guy who's already got 7. How many have you got left in you?
I don't know. Not many. I've got a few grey hairs these days, but I'll keep pushing through. But I won't go past my use-by date. I'll hang it up, when the time comes.
They're unbelievable. Please put your hands together, folks, for the two men who took it all the way to the final lap in 2017. We wish you all the very best. I want you to stand up for some photos with the championship trophy, and I'll hand it back to you, Jess.
Thank you very much, Maddie. I'd like to invite any photographers that might like to come down and get some shots of Scott and Jamie with the championship trophy to do so now. Perfect, thank you. All the best for the season ahead. Well, 2018 marks the 3rd year of a fantastic partnership with our naming rights sponsor, Virgin Australia. I'd now like to invite Group Executive for Brand Marketing and Public Affairs from Virgin Australia, Danielle Keary, to say a few words.
Well, thank you, and it's very exciting to be here today. They no doubt put on events, very exciting events throughout the year, and they've even managed to do it this morning for their season launch. So look, at Virgin, we really believe the excitement is when you take off. Some people think it's all about coming home and there's tears and crying, but we think the excitement is when you take off. And so the supercars has been a natural fit for us. We have been supporting the supercars for 7 years, but in 2016, we became the naming rights sponsor. And it really has been an absolute pleasure to be involved with this group. We fly all the teams and all the drivers around to each of the events each year, and our staff find it an absolute privilege to look after them. And there's definitely, a bit of excitement when any of them are on board. We're very grateful to once again have Jamie Whincup as our ambassador. We have actually been, as I said, in supporting the supercars for 7 years, and I believe he's been in 7 premierships, so we must be bringing him some luck, I believe. And so it's wonderful to be part of this great organisation. We really look forward to another really exciting season, and we hope to take as many of you on the journey there and let the excitement start right from the ground when you take off with Virgin Australia. I think Patrick did a little bit of a sales call before, so I feel I can do the same thing and make sure you all start the excitement of the event with us when you come along. So thank you all. Great to be part of this wonderful sport, and look forward to seeing you at some of the races.
It is always a spectacular stunt to see a Virgin Australia plane fly in low over the Bathurst 1000 grid. We enjoy that so much year on year. And there is plenty to be excited about as the Bathurst 1000 creeps up on us. It always does. While it seems like a long way away at the start of the season in October, it really does come around so quickly. And after what transpired on the mountain last year, you just have to sit back and wonder what might be possible in 2018.
The day felt special. I was nervous. As a driver, you know that the big race is Sunday, but a nice prize before the race starts is getting pole, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. There's butterflies going everywhere, and you're just trying to calm your heart rate down, trying to be smooth and make sure that you get an awesome run onto the front straight to start your lap.
Has he got what it takes in this car? Has he got what it takes as a driver?
I had an awesome run to start my lap and head into the first corner. Sun's in your eyes, so very hard to pick the brake marker, and braked as hard as I could, as deep as I could, at the 100-metre board into turn 1. For the first time all week, and I actually got through there not too bad. And headed up Mountain Straight, looked at my predicted, and we were on for a pretty amazing time. My predicted lap time was underneath of my fastest time of the weekend, and I thought, well, if we hold this together, it could be my day.
Up under the tree, big slide, and it's just up. Can you believe that? 0.009, there's nothing in it.
It was a bit of a heart-in-the-mouth moment, because I could have easily gone half a car wide and really stuffed my lap.
And he's got it 2 wheels in the dirt at
McPhillamy, it was the first time all weekend we had gone through there with no brake, which was pretty cool, and that's probably half the reason why I was all over the grass on the exit.
Does that give him an invoice? Is there a price to pay for that one?
Heading to Skyline, I knew I was on the grass out at McPhillamy. I knew my tyres would be dirty, but you know, as the Bathurst 1000 shootout, you've got to throw it in, and we threw it in hard. Third, second, managed to pull it up. It was a little bit skatey. Then through the dipper, and it all managed to come out of there with a straight car, and we're still moving, so I knew we were okay.
No, but how is the number? And he did it with 2 wheels in the dirt. McLaughlin is flying.
Hard into the chase. Took the next right flat.
No curve. It sits nicely. It didn't slide on the gear change.
The car was absolutely sensational, and I looked at my predicted, and all I said to myself was, don't stuff this last corner up.
This might be the biggest lap ever at Mount Panorama.
Got through, and I'll never forget the feeling after that.
And McLaughlin comes to the line. Yes! A 2-minute 3.8. They've gone berserk at Shell V-Power Racing.
2:03.8. I seriously could not believe it.
Yeah. We stand and salute, mate. Brilliant. So many of the teams have come out to applaud the effort.
The heart was going off because I was running off between the car and going to the fence cheering and the fans. And
that's a pretty special moment in Australian motorsport.
Bathurst is something special, and you know, to do something like that where the people, you know, celebrate it with you, you'll never get sick of that.
Woo, yeah!
I've been doing this since I was a kid.
Yeah, got my heart.
It was a real coming of age for Scott McLaughlin. It's easy to forget it wasn't that long ago he was just a Supercars rookie. What a journey it's been, and this year we welcome 5 fresh faces to the grid. I'll hand it over now to Neil Crompton as we catch up with our newest recruits.
Very good morning, Jess. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody, and a happy new year to you. It's probably worth reflecting as we stand and think about the 2018 Virgin Australia Supercars Championship of what might be. Because if you go back over the last couple of decades in the history of our wonderful sport, we've seen some incredible drivers and some unbelievable athletes make their mark. Jess mentioned Scotty McLaughlin there just a couple of moments ago. When he arrived on the scene in 2012, he was with Techno. Jonathan Webb turned up at the Sandown 500. Only a few weeks later, he went to Bathurst and grabbed a sixth. And we knew from that moment on, maybe this guy was going to be something. And you wind back through the years, stop and think about people like James Courtney, who arrived in the mid-2000s having a great background in Europe, World Karting Championships and single-seater racing, and then jumping in with the Holden Racing team. Mark Winterbottom, who had a great pedigree as a Dunlop Super 2 champion and then found his way with Mark Larkham. Winding back even further to 2002, Jamie Whincup at the Queensland 500, crawling his way into supercar racing. Prior to that, Greg Murphy, late 90s, Holden Racing team. Big things from the Kiwi in his single-seater career. Earlier than that, we saw Russell Ingall come back from Europe, from Formula Ford and other categories. He had a crack at Bathurst in 1990 with Kevin Bartlett in a Bob Forbes car, and he went on to be something. In the late 80s, Mark Scaife made his mark, driving for Nissan, having come out of one-make racing. So we pause and think now about what might be with these 5 special gentlemen here as they embark on their full-time Virgin Australia Supercars Championship career. Give them a round of applause, please, for Anton Di Pasquale, for James Golding, for Todd Hazelwood, Jack LeBrock and for Richie Stanaway. Don't look so earnest, boys. Smile. It's a big journey, and I've just run through some of those that have been very special in our business over a long period of time. I've assembled them in surname, alphabetical order and age. So the spread here is 22 to 26. It's a whole new and exciting career. Let's start with Anton. For you, you've come out of Dunlop Super 2. What an amazing journey. You've been with Paul Morris and you're about to jump in as David Reynolds' teammate at Erebus. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's awesome to be here, first of all, but it's an amazing experience which we're going to all be a part of, and doing the last few years with Paul and Super 2 and coming back to Australia and everything like that's been it's a great experience, and can't wait for the year ahead.
Looking forward to it? Yeah,
of course. I think you don't really know how much you're looking forward to. You're pretty focused at this point, but come Adelaide, I think we'll be pretty nervous and very excited at the same time.
For you, James, this is pretty special. We've seen you in Dunlop Super 2, some wildcard runs and enduros also for you. We've seen you as a feature on the workshop floor at Gary Rogers Motorsport, Wilson Security Racing. Now it's a big moment for you as well.
Yeah, that's right. I've obviously been involved with the team for about 5 years now, so to be around the whole supercars category and that for that long and finally to get a drive is incredible, and I'd like to pay respect to Gary and all the sponsors and that for making the opportunity available to me, and I really can't wait to get into it and see how we go.
Garth Tander's your teammate, vastly experienced, multiple Bathurst winner and series champion. Has he been a good mentor so far?
Yeah, Garth's been fantastic. The stuff I've learnt from him over the past years is things that I never really thought about as well, on and off the track. So he's been great for me, and hopefully we can still work together and do a great job this year.
Gary's had an eye for picking talent over the years, and so if you look at the last 10 or 15 years of some of those that have escalated under his tutelage, you're in pretty good shape here, mate.
Yeah, well, that's a big thing too. I mean, a lot of great drivers have come through Gary and learnt their ways from a young age, so to be a part of that and know that Gary's brought up some great drivers gives me a lot of confidence, and know that I've got the best opportunity to do a good job and become a good driver, hopefully.
Todd, swapping brands from Holden to Ford in 2018. Big mate, Matt Stone. The Stone name is famous in supercar racing. We saw some terrific stuff from you last year, notably a Dunlop Super 2 Championship. That's worth a round of applause. Well done, mate. Good job. This is huge, and we were mighty impressed with some of your runs last year, and now you get a chance to do it in the big stage.
Yeah, it's very exciting to finally get into the big dance. Last year was incredible for us at the team at Matt Stone Racing, and bringing Big Mate on board for the first time into motorsport, and then to make that transition this year into the main Supercars Championship is very exciting. As you mentioned, change of brands for us, bringing the Stone name back into the game, and two rookies working together, trying to do some big things this year. So it's it's a lifetime opportunity. Very grateful for to be racing against the best 26 drivers in the country, and what's arguably the best touring car championship in the world. So, yeah, very privileged to be a part of it, and can't wait for the season ahead.
And a bit of a shakedown with the new car. What was it like?
The car was great. Yeah, really good early signs. So the team at DJR, Team Penske, have been fantastic, working alongside with them to get the new delivery of the car. And initially it's hard to say when you go to a test day, but we'll find out tomorrow what it can really do.
And Fabian was out there, I think, last week to hand it off. Did he give you a warranty as you took the keys, or did he just say good luck and God bless?
I was basically just trying to pick his brain for as much as I can for 10 laps. So it was really good, and learned a lot from that, and looking forward to the season ahead from that.
Jack, special moment for you. You're going to jump on board with Techno this year. You've also been participating in Dunlop Super 2. Great results last year. Big moment, the one that you've been working really hard for.
Yeah, that's right. I'm really thankful for the opportunity from Techno and Jono and everyone there. And it's been a long time coming for us. We've been working towards this for a couple of years. And after 4 years of Dunlop Series, we finally get the chance to see whether we've got what it takes to make it at the top. But absolutely stoked. And we've got great equipment with the brand new Commodore this year. And looking forward to getting into it.
And that's a big point and a big story for our new championship season, the new ZB Commodore. And it's been a frantic mission to get these cars ready in time. You've had a little taste. What are your thoughts?
Really love it so far. Settled into it very quickly, which is a positive sign. We don't get a whole lot of running before we get to Adelaide. So, had a great first test day, shook it down. We ended up packing up a little bit early and actually heading home because we were that happy with how it was going. So, I suppose the big day is tomorrow and heading into Friday at Adelaide. But, we're pretty positive at the moment.
And you've stepped out of a Nissan and into a Holden, so there's a lot of architectural change there and a lot of things to learn, new process within completely different race team and a new way of thinking.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, completely different for myself, and this fifth year in a row with a different car and a different team. So it's been a pretty interesting ride. But looking forward to the challenge, and I suppose each year I'm getting better at adapting to the different cars.
Richie's got a great story from New Zealand, a Formula 3 champion, a winner in GP2, which is one step from Formula 1 at some pretty cool racetracks. Has been a part of the Aston Martin World Endurance Championship program, but made a declaration several years ago that he absolutely had a mission, and that was to become a supercar driver. Turned up at Sandown in 2016 in pretty ordinary Melbourne conditions in September, which is not unusual, and you did an amazing job. And then you went back last year, grabbed a pole and a victory and made an emphatic statement. Congratulations, and he's earned a full-time ride this year with Tickford Racing, new name, an old operation though, one that's been around and been very successful for a long time.
Yeah, it's obviously great to make the step up to the main game. Having been a part of the Pertec Enduro Cup the last couple of years, the biggest question mark was, will I ever get a full-time drive? So it was good to get that now, and just looking forward to getting the season started and seeing how I stack up against the guys at the top level. So great to be a part of Tickford Racing as well. They obviously build great cars, and I'm sure we'll have a great season.
One of the interesting things when you go back through the roll call of those that have made their mark in the business, and then you look at where these guys have come from, we're calling them rookies, but they're not. They're vastly experienced in motor racing, and in many cases from an incredibly young age. They're all very different characters, very different people, but they're bound by some similarities. They are incredibly great racing drivers. They're technically savvy. They're commercially bright. They're pretty smart when it comes to dealing with the media. And they're probably bound by something that's a bit special in this game, and that is they really have no regard for the establishment. To put it in driver speak, they don't give a rat's. So they will go out there come Adelaide, and it doesn't matter how big the name, how big the reputation, and how many championships, how many poles, whatever, they'll be in there. And it raises the interesting question that when you find yourself on the racetrack with some of these people that you've probably watched and revered over a long period of time, how does that make you feel? Todd, in your case, when you're out there and you look and you're battling with a McLaughlin, you're battling with a Whincup, what's it like?
Well, they're just another driver at the end of the day, and that's the way you can only look at it. So, for us, I know more about those drivers than what they know about me. So you've got to just take the positives out of everything and, just take it as a challenge, and that's what we all strive on.
What about your mindset on that, James? I mean, is that, I need to respect these guys or get out of my way?
It's a bit of both. I mean, obviously a lot of us have been watching these guys race for a long time now and know the way they race and that sort of thing. So obviously it's going to be a big learning curve racing with them for the first time, full time. And, you're going to have in the back of your mind definitely a lot of respect, but at the end of the day, your job's to pass them and win the race. So that's what we'll be trying to do.
Looking forward to seeing each and every one of you out in Adelaide in a couple of weeks' time. Best wishes for the 2018 Virgin Australia Supercars Championship. Can't wait to get it started. Thanks, boys. Thanks for your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Neil, and of course, best of luck to all our rookies for the season ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of formalities this morning. For the media in the room, thank you so much for being with us and for your continued coverage of the championship throughout the year. All of the drivers here today are available for photos, interviews, one-on-one, so please get in touch with the Supercars communications team and they will be able to assist you with any of your requests. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing all of you trackside at the Adelaide 500. Good morning.
Shane Van Gisbergen makes a very big statement to commence 2017.
Hard to explain just from a physical standpoint. Cars off the road.
And Super Cheap Auto Racing is victorious. Well done, Chaz Mostert. McLaughlin is the winner of race number 7 in Western Australia.
Whoa, yeehaw.
Jamie Whitcomb is a winner in Townsville. McLaughlin comes to the line. Yes! A 2-minute 3.8. 2017 great race.
Gone. Died.
Courtney, huge crash. He's off the road, more trouble. 1,000 kilometres later, David Reynolds, you are the man. This is the grand finale from Newcastle. This is crazy stuff. Lowndes is out of business. He's off the road. Wow. Penalty for Scott McLaughlin. Jamie Whitcomb is champion.
Is that a joke or? We are the champions, mate. You are champion.
That is extraordinary.
Jamie Whitcomb has won his 7th title.
Yeah, got my heart racing. Thought I might have done.